Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our podcast. This is our fifth episode where we are doing individual interviews with our staff for our segment of We Are More Than Badges and Shirts. This segment is hosted by Miss Sheila Kelly. Sheila, go ahead and take it away.
Hi, Jose.
Hey, Sheila, what's that look for?
It's your turn on the hot seat. Woo!
All right, let's go.
I am Sheila. I'm the area director here at the Boys and Girls Club Contra Costa, and I have the pleasure of sitting with Mr. Jose, who's the site director at Martinez Clubhouse for Boys and Girls Club. You good, Jose?
I'm good. Let's do it. Let's get into it.
I love it. Oh, let's get into
Let's
it.
get into
Okay,
it.
challenge. Okay. All right, so a little bit earlier, we were doing the group interview, and we were talking about what our moment was or the things that we brought to the table, the Boys and Girls Club brings to the table, brings to the community, brings to the members.
Yes.
And I am curious as to what you personally think you have brought to the Boys and Girls Club. Just you personally, what you brought to the table.
Sure. So for me personally, I've worked with a diverse group of staff just in the Boys and Girls Club movement. Starting in 2018, I started with athletics. And so that's what most of my experience comes from is I was a middle school coach. And so being able to lead a team that way, and also working with youth and the parents, I feel like I bring a lot of experience when it comes to that too, being able to connect with them. And then from that position, trying to be a good leader and setting the example for my staff and the members.
So when you say good leader, what's a good leader for you?
A good leader is someone that you can depend on, someone that's going to show up every day and that's going to be a good listener and then actually taking action on those things. That's what I try to be. That's what a lot of my mentors that I look up to, my dad and former teachers, that's what I see in them and try to do my best to use those qualities to be. And that's what I think would be a good leader.
So you are site director, so you have a staff of three?
Right now, it's a
four?
staff of three. Yes.
And their age ranges are, I think, start at 19? Like that
Yes.
is 19?
Yeah.
You ever look at them and think, gosh, I mean, there's a generation gap here. These kids are 19 that I'm leading. Or do you feel like you're one of them? Like you're right there with the youth, like with the 19-year-olds? Like where are you? Because sometimes I do that. Like I'll look and I'm like, I'm 19 too. What do you mean?
That's a good question.
I'm young
Yeah.
too. What do you
That's
mean?
a good question.
Do you ever feel like the old man, even though you clearly are not? But
So I feel like they look at me as the old man
Yeah.
a lot of times.
Yeah.
And so I don't have to not so much prove myself, but I try to get involved and try to we have a TikTok, and so I try to be as involved, follow our TikTok, and trying to stay up with like obviously like what's currently trending and everything, so I can relate to the kids as well. But yeah, so in my opinion, I don't see myself as that. But I feel like a lot of the kids, especially when I was working in the middle school, they're like, "Oh, this guy, like, he doesn't understand where I'm coming from. You don't know anything about this, about style or what's going on." But I like using sports as a connection, especially with a lot of kids interested in sports right now. We have the 49ers in the playoffs, so I like to use that as a common ground.
Oh, whatever.
I know we got a Cowboys fan in the house. Sorry, it's
Oh,
sore subject.
whatever. Yeah, we do have a Cowboy. We also have Chicago Bears.
So I have to sometimes.
Excuse me.
So I have to sometimes get creative with how I connect with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's my opinion on it.
So is working with youth ever a challenge for you? Like, do you say to yourself, God, I can't do this today. These kids, I cannot connect. Is it ever a challenge for you?
Like you were saying earlier, this is a chosen profession of mine too. There's a lot of different ways I could go, but there's nothing more rewarding to me than working with kids, especially at the club in the club setting. Of course, it can be very challenging at times, and right now with COVID going on, we're really on the front line, and we could potentially, if I was to get exposed, I would carry it on to my partner and my family as well. So putting a lot out there. We make a lot of sacrifices to be in this position, and because it's a chosen profession, it's something that I really love doing. That's how I see it.
Yeah. So, how do your peers, when they look at you, like I don't know your friends or whatever, I don't know what are they in a different profession, doctors, lawyers, anything? I mean, where your how do you explain what you do? Do you say, I never wanted to be a lawyer?
It's funny you asked that though, because most of my friends, I mean, they're in education, and if I have one of my best friends is a police officer, so he's working in the community. Most of them are in social service, actually. Yeah. I've never really thought about
minds. Yeah.
I've never really thought about that, but yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of them are in social service.
Well, they say you're the company you keep.
That's true. Yeah.
So you run in a social service crowd.
I do. Yeah, for the most part. Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Is this something that let's go back to 8-year-old, 9-year-old Jose. Let's talk to him.
Okay. He's not going to say much.
Is he not?
No.
Why isn't he going to talk?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. So why wouldn't 8-year-old Jose
I was
talk?
really, really shy. I had a lot of insecurities when I was young. I didn't really speak up at all. Just this really, really skinny little kid. And I kind of just did my own thing. I think the biggest thing for me is I didn't have a lot of confidence in myself, so I didn't have confidence in speaking up. So I kind of just went along with what everybody else was doing, tried to fit in. And then later on, probably 4th or 5th grade, I had some really good teachers, and also sports helped me a lot, which is something that's great that the Boys and Girls Club provides. Gives me that confidence, even if it's not always verbally communicating with people, being out there, being a part of a team, and feeling like I'm contributing. That really helped me a lot socially develop, and also just learning, just to be yourself, and it doesn't really matter so much what other people think of you, because that's something that I struggled with a lot when I was young. But even at that age, though, I remember thinking like, I need to fit in. I got to do my best so people like me. And so that was, I wouldn't have said much. That's something that definitely took time, and it took a lot of good mentors to get me through that. And then the resources, like I was saying earlier, with athletics and helping me socially and physically develop as a person.
That's great. So 8 years old, what was your plan?
My plan is I loved to draw. I still love to draw, but the thing is, I realized I couldn't do it for a living. I'm not so good at it. It's just something that I enjoy doing. It helps me. But that was my thing. I was drawing on everything. That's what I would get in trouble for. I was never like the one to talk back or I was never stealing stuff. But I would draw on everything.
Go into your own world.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, wow.
Always.
Yeah. So I guess the kids that you come in contact now who are draw or they're artists.
Yeah.
You don't pick on them, right?
No, I love to talk. I love to talk to him about it. Actually, I love to talk to him about it. It's like, tell me about this drawing. What does it mean to you? What inspires you?
You can relate.
Absolutely, yeah.
So you wanted to be an artist.
Yes, I did.
And so if we are to now move forward, so we're gonna say goodbye to 8-year-old Jose, who's not speaking much anyway.
No.
So we're gonna leave him alone. And we're going to go forward to 50-year-old Jose.
Okay.
What's he doing?
When he has free time, I mean, right now, I like to go fishing a lot. And I like
you're
to
not
spend
50, so.
No, I know. That's what I hope to be doing.
We're saying 50.
I'm committed to working with youth, social service, absolutely. I definitely see myself giving back, even if I'm not doing it full-time at that point. Who knows what's going to happen, but if I would volunteer either at a Boys and Girls Club or something very similar where I can work with youth and feel like I can really make a difference in future generations. I don't see myself doing anything else, to be honest with you.
So this is your goal, your future, your
this
present
is my chosen
goal
profession. Yep.
And your future
That's all
goal.
I see myself doing now, yeah.
Yeah. That not many people are able to say that they're doing what they really want to do.
Exactly.
So that's great that you're doing something you really want to do. Tell me about your staff. Tell me one good thing about each one of your staff members.
All right, so I'll start with Leilani. One good thing about her is she's so knowledgeable. Not only with the Boys and Girls Club Martinez, but she's. I mean, anytime I have a question, she's on it. She's always willing to help me, and she's a really good team player. Like you were saying earlier, she knows when to speak up, when to step in, but she's not gonna, stand behind you and then feel like you're like she's being too overpowering, I guess. And then with Leilani, she's just.
Avi?
Or I'm sorry, with Avi.
Do you know your staff?
I do. And then with
kidding.
Avi, she's just she's one of those people that just relates to the kids so naturally.
Yeah.
She makes it look
true.
easy, and you can't. That's something you can't teach. And she's just one of those people. I mean, the kids, the way they look at her and their way that she engages with them, is really something special.
And JR?
And then JR, yeah. So JR really has a passion for what she does, and it shows.
Yeah.
And again, the kids feed off of that. So when you're that passionate about something, they're willing to listen, and they're going to stay engaged, and they really want to know what you have to say. And she has a lot. I feel like she has a lot to provide.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't think I even spoke about her earlier when we were doing our group podcast. And sorry about that, JR. I know, for me, out of sight, out of mind. I wasn't even thinking. But, yeah, I really liked her personality.
Yeah.
JR has a very big personality in a tiny little package, She's petite.
Yeah.
But big personality. And she just kind of warmed the room. She walked in the door and said, "Hey, I want to work for you guys."
Yeah.
And it was just really cool. So she's so shout out to her,
Yep.
JR. And James, you work with?
And James, my gosh.
Professor, aka Professor.
See, James was one of the first people I met here when I came in to sign my paperwork.
Really?
And James is just so, yeah. And James was, so willing to help me out. It felt like I'd known him for years just talking to him.
Yeah.
Again, you can't, that's a quality that you just don't find all the time.
Yeah.
And he makes it, I have no hesitation if I need something. I know I'm it's not going to come off as if I'm bugging him. He's always willing to help.
Yeah.
And I really think, I can't answer this for him, but I know this is a chosen profession, and it's something that he really enjoys. And like he said, this is his second home here.
Yeah.
He takes pride in what he does, and it shows.
Well, if he
Yes,
doesn't like
I
it,
do.
he has really fooled us all. Because we all...
I questioned everything after that. I was
all,
like, wait,
we're
no.
banking on that he loves it here, but I don't know.
I think it shows. Yeah.
I really enjoy working here,
okay.
but this is about Jose, not about me.
He said he really, really enjoys it. Yeah. I was going to say, because he pulls the wool over our
Yeah.
eyes if he doesn't.
No kidding.
Yeah. But that's great. You have an awesome team. You really do.
Yes.
They're good people.
Mhm.
And they're trying really hard to get through this, this battle that we're
Right.
going through with this COVID, whatever that thing is really giving us heck,
Yes, and whatever the new normal is, it's always changing. Yeah.
Yeah, there are all different kinds of different things, challenges that we're facing,
Mhm.
but we're getting through it, right?
We are. Yes.
Yeah.
We have a vision in mind.
Yeah, we do?
Yep.
Share it.
I feel like we do.
Can you share it with me? 'Cause
Yeah.
you said yeah.
Even just talking about with programming, we have our new kitchen now.
Yeah.
Getting specific with that, really expanding our healthy habits program, getting the kids in there, getting their hands on.
Yeah.
With
The new gym,
in the new gym.
gym.
Yes, the new gym.
the podcast, yeah.
Rentals. Yeah, we're thinking big. So this place
Yeah.
is really coming to life.
Yeah.
And
It's
it's
feeling
it's
good.
not going to happen overnight. It's going to take all of us. But I know I have a lot of confidence in our team, and I really look forward to it.
Yeah. Well, you heard it, folks. As the man says, we are looking forward to it. Thank you, Jose, site director, Martinez Clubhouse. Thank you so much for joining us. Bye, Jose.
Bye-bye. Thanks to everyone listening.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second part of our 5th episode. We will now be interviewing Leilani. So, Sheila, go ahead and take it away.
Hi, Leilani.
Hi, Sheila.
Listen, Lainey has been hating this for the longest. She is probably our most shyest member here at Martinez Clubhouse. This is really difficult for her, but she's doing it for the kids. She's doing it for the kids. So, Leilani, tell me, you're probably one of the oldest people here, huh?
Yeah.
In terms of how long you've been here.
Yes.
Not in terms of age, but you've been here a long time. When did you start?
I started in 7th grade, so I want to say maybe about 2016, 2017, maybe.
You were in the 7th grade in 2016.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh God, you're so young. Okay, so 7th grade. So how did you get here? Did someone tell you about it, or?
So actually, we moved from Fresno. So we started. My mom worked at the hospital out here in Martinez, and she put us into the Boys and Girls Club. So I just came my first day of school, and that's how it started.
So you just
Yeah.
came. You didn't. No one told you. You just said, "Okay, I think I'll
My
go
mom
there."
told us the day of.
Yeah, you're gonna go
So-
there.
Yeah.
So back then, as compared to now, what are some of the changes that you've seen happen since you were that 7th grader? What's different now?
So the staffing is different.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like when I was younger, it was a lot looser. There wasn't as many roles, so a lot of us were free to do what we wanted,
Mm-hmm.
which wasn't as great.
Yeah. Not for them, probably. Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
but
Great for you guys. Yeah.
not for
Yeah, fun, huh?
yeah, but the rooms have changed immensely. Our teen room, when I was a teen, used to be the room that we were filming in right now, and it wasn't as good. We had old couches and everything. So the new teen room, it's like great. Like they have a sound system, lights, nice couches, all of that type of stuff. So that's a huge change. Then the bathrooms is a big change, and the gym is one of the biggest changes I've had.
Yeah, because it's a brand new gym.
Yeah.
Well, they remodeled or redid or whatever it is you say with gyms. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's really, really lovely. A lot of people should, if they haven't been able to see it, they should come out and see it. It's really, really nice.
Yes, it is.
So besides the building, you said staffing is different. Now you were 7th grade, so I think earlier when we were talking as a group, you guys were saying, I don't remember if it's you or Avi was saying that you just didn't know that it took the amount of work that it does as a staff member. So
Yeah.
do you see a difference in the way you lead now that you're a staff member than the way those staff members led?
I could say that I would say I'm more stricter than they were.
Oh,
So-
see, it's always like that. See?
Yeah, so I follow all the rules. Like I try to, but I also try to make it fun.
Yeah.
Like the old staffing, it wasn't like that. We were just able to really do what we wanted, like when we wanted. So, yeah, I would say that's the difference.
So now you find yourself to be stricter.
Yes.
Okay. So why is that? Why do you think that is that you are stricter than when you were that 7th grader?
Because I seen the stuff that we used to do and stuff like that. It wasn't that good or stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I'm going to ask what you did. No, I'm not. That is quite all right. We don't need to know.
Yeah.
But so you find yourself being stricter because of the things you saw then.
Yeah.
In 7th grade. Yeah.
I'm
in
trying
seventh.
to like more so lead them in the right path, not take the path that I took. I want to say when I was younger, and the kids that I've seen and hung out with. So yeah.
Yeah. So when you think about that, and you're thinking to yourself, okay, I'm different. I'm going to be stricter. Is that something you think you'll do as a parent one day if you do become a parent? I don't know if you have any desire to be a parent one day, but let's say you do. Do you think you'll be stricter on your children?
I wouldn't say stricter. I'll be like, I want to say more so, I want them to follow the rules, but if you're going to do stuff, do it safely and have fun, you know? But for me, strict here is like, okay, you guys go to the bathroom one at a time. Like, I'm very onto the rules, and like, you guys just need to do this so we can keep a safe place for you all and make sure we all stay healthy. That's what I'm more so strict on, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So How do you think the kids look at that when they see you? Because we talked about that a little earlier with Mr. Jose, and I was saying, hey, do you feel like the old guy? You know,
Yeah.
as young as he is, he's still the old guy when you have a seventh, fifth, or sixth grader looking at you.
Yeah.
Um, do you say to yourself, I wonder how these kids, how do they feel about me? Do they look at me like, old lady Leilani is making us follow the rules and she's horrible? Or do you think they understand that you're doing this because out of you care, the fact
Yeah.
that you care about them? What do you think?
I want to say it varies between the age groups. So with the teens, I could be like more the big bad wolf to them instead of
Right.
like their friend. But with the younger ones, like they understand the rules. They know they have to, just go by these rules so we can keep it a safe and healthy place. But I'm also involved with them. Like if we're playing in the gym, sharks and minnows, I'm gonna play with them. I'm gonna run around in the gym with them, play basketball with them.
Yeah.
So, it just varies between the age groups. I feel like.
Yeah. Do you ever feel old when you're with the kids? Do you ever think to yourself, God, that's so different than when I was that age? I mean, do you find yourself saying that?
Yeah.
Or, yeah.
I do. Times have changed, so I see them like they're just very into electronics and stuff like that. I just think about when I was younger, we were very like we're involved with each other. We weren't on our phones 24/7. We're playing with each other, and participating in activities instead of wanting to be on our phones when I was younger.
Yeah, phones are a big thing
Yeah.
for. It's a struggle with staff
Yes.
because younger kids. I mean, oh my gosh, saying younger. I mean, you are so young, but younger kids is identity.
Yes.
That's how they identify. I mean, it's almost like a part of their bodies now.
Yeah.
Phones. I've heard, I've read things or heard things that there's going to be defined not mental, physical things that kids of today are going to have to face when they get older.
Yeah.
So the phone stance, how you look at kids and they're standing a certain way, holding their phone, looking down. That's going to eventually affect their necks, their backs, because they're constantly in those positions. And so when I think about that, and it really isn't that far. You're not really that far away from their age.
Yeah.
So we're talking about a matter of what, 5 or 6? What are we talking, Professor? 7 years difference, 8 years between her and the younger kids that are here, like 8 or 9.
5 to
Yeah,
8
about
years.
8 or 9. Yeah, that's not long at
No,
all.
it's not.
So it's like you were 8 when they were born. So
Yeah.
when you think about that, I mean, how did it get to be such a huge gap? What do you think?
I just feel like phones and social media have gotten bigger over the years. They see it as a thing to share all these things that you're doing on those platforms. So, we didn't really have that much going on our phones that like we had. I want to say Musically and stuff
Yeah.
and Instagram, but it wasn't that interesting. I am on my phone a lot now, I will admit, but yeah. They're
Yeah,
just
so it
not
just
as
wasn't
involved
as big.
physically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, with that huge stimulation, it's also challenging to get kids to want to do something
Yes.
else, right? Because
Yeah.
they get so much stimulation from the phone and from the computers as well. Sorry, Professor. From the, that it's just hard to make a connection, human to human.
Yes.
Humanity is taking a real hit. So I'm talking to 19-year-old Leilani. Let's take that hat off and let's talk to 50-year-old Leilani. Hi, 50-year-old Leilani. Where's Leilani at? She's 50 years old. Where is she?
I want to say I'm retired by then.
At 50?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
That's what I wish to say.
Yeah.
But if I wasn't, I want to say I'm working in a hospital.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say I have kids that are out of the house
Mm-hmm.
already and off to college, and I'm maybe traveling a little bit
Yeah.
and just having fun, trying to live my life while working in a position that I would love to at a hospital.
Yeah, so you want to work in the hospital as, I'm sorry, what, a doctor or
Trauma surgeon.
trauma surgeon?
Yeah.
Well, listen, you got a you got a whole lot of weird
I know.
to deal with that will help you out with that, because you got to keep your head. I mean, you got to
Yes.
keep your cool. I would think, as a trauma surgeon, that would be one of the things you have to do, because you see
Yeah.
so much coming at you.
Yeah.
So, how did you start here? Other than you went here when you were in seventh grade, right?
Yeah.
And then, how did you transition to become a staff member? How did that happen?
We had an old staff member here, and I was friends with her sister at the time, and she came over to her sister's house, and she mentioned the position to me because at the time I was working at a care home for adults with special disabilities, and it was very hard because my manager wasn't that great. They didn't listen. They didn't keep in contact with us. So I just said, okay, I'll apply for this position. And we talked about it. I did the interview and I got the job. And I was pretty excited because I never thought I'd be back here personally,
Yeah.
but I'm actually happy I am back.
So that's good. That's good to know.
Yes.
So you've been here a couple of years, right? As a staff member?
No, since August.
Oh, since August as
Yeah.
a staff member. Okay. So, wow. Okay, since August. And in that time, you went from, that's August of 2021 we're talking.
Yes.
And in less than a year, you have gone from being a program specialist to becoming assistant site director
Yes.
at 19.
Yeah.
How did you do that?
Personally, I don't know.
You have no idea, huh? No. I mean, that is remarkable. There are certain staff members who stay for years and aren't able to be promoted so quickly. So I know you're saying, oh, I don't know, but tell me. Well, okay, I'll tell you,
Okay.
because you're saying you don't know.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's because you are very capable, very honest. You take the job very seriously. You work very, very hard. And I think the most important part of the whole essence of Leilani, is that you care. And that is why you have made it so quickly. I mean, that's what I think. Besides the fact that I did it. But anyway. So this wasn't so bad, right? It wasn't too bad?
No.
Was it terrible?
No.
So I'm going to tell you, between the two, what would you rather be, in front of the camera or behind the camera?
Behind it.
Behind the camera is hard too, right, Professor?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard too. Yeah. So behind the camera, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I am certainly glad that you helped us today and you got in front of the camera. We won't ask you to do it maybe once or twice more, but that'll be it. All right. Thanks a lot, Leilani.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, Avi.
Hello.
Now, Avi is, I talked to her a little bit earlier to Leilani, and she was nervous. But my goodness, I don't think you're nervous as much. You're just really, really quiet.
Yeah. I'm just naturally quiet. That's why it makes me a little nervous.
Yeah. I have often called you my quiet storm. And I occasionally call Leilani that as well. And what I mean by that is that you're very quiet, but you make an impact, a very positive impact. It's not like you move and then everything's destroyed, but you definitely know you've been there. You make a positive impact. So in being so quiet, do you ever find that difficult in being a leader? Because you're in a staff role now. You're a leader now. Does that ever make your job any more difficult or challenging?
At the beginning, I remember on the first day, I was super nervous because I just have such a soft voice and I'm not a super outspoken person. So I was a little bit nervous to have to raise my voice a little bit just to gain the attention of the members. But I found it to be pretty easy. And all the members work with me, and I've learned to use my voice when needed, and I feel like it's helping me.
Yeah, you are particularly good with the younger ones. The
Yeah.
littles. The littles really enjoy
Yeah.
being around you and sitting in your art room. I mean, you really seem to connect, or rather they connect with you very well.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? Why do the littles like you so much?
I feel because I'm used to being around so many younger kids in my family. I'm like one of the oldest, so I'm just naturally like I know how to work with younger kids more, I would say. So I feel like that's why they gravitate towards me a little bit more.
Yeah. What's your preference? Do you have one? Would you rather be with the older
Um,
kids or the younger kids? I mean, I
I
know you love them
think-
both. Now,
Yes.
don't start. She loves them all, okay,
Yes.
everybody?
I do.
I'm just asking her what her
Um,
comfort zone is.
I think it was important for me to learn how to be with both, but I would definitely say the younger kids.
The younger kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how did you get here? Now, Leilani tells a story about how she came when she was in 7th grade. And the reason why I'm mentioning Leilani so much, because these two are best buds.
Yeah.
They are, I mean, you rarely see one without the other.
Very
And then
true.
when one is not here, the other one is in this mopey, kind of quiet,
Yep.
this like sad little cloud over them, when
Yeah.
the other one's not there. But so when Leilani was talking about she came in 7th grade is when she, first was introduced or came to the Boys and Girls Club. Is that the same for you?
Yes.
7th grade? Did you
Yeah.
two meet each other or?
We went to camp through Boys and Girls Club in 8th grade. So being like in the middle of the woods, like camping is how I would say really became like close
Really
officially.
close?
Yeah.
Mhm. So how did you come to Boys and Girls Club?
I came to Boys and Girls Club because they used to do these like fair type of events. It would be in the parking lot. They would have like big slides, a zip line, all this really cool stuff. And I was new to the junior high in 7th grade. And my friend was like, oh, I go to Boys and Girls Club. Like, you should come. Like, I can have a guest for free. And you can like check it out and it'll be really fun. And I was like, okay. So I went one day and I had so much fun. There were so many kids from school there. And we all had time to do our homework together. We could ask each other for help. And then we also had time to just socialize. And it was just fun, like waiting for your parents to pick you up. We just had people our age to be around. And it was just a fun place to be.
So I was asking, earlier I was asking Leilani, and I'm interested in this as well with you. When you came, you said you were in 8th grade when you started?
7th grade.
7th grade.
Yeah.
So now you are a staff member.
Yes.
So how are you different in the way you, as a staff member, how do you conduct your leadership as opposed to how you were when you were that 7th grader coming through the door? Because now you're in
Yes.
leadership role.
Yeah.
Are you like the other staff was back then, or are you different?
I would say I'm a little bit different because, rules change, people change. And when I was younger coming here, I just thought fun, like, just have fun all the time, not really worry about rules. Like, but when you're when you're working here, it's like you have to worry about like safety of everyone compared to when you're like a kid coming here. It's like you're just worrying about yourself, having fun. That's all you want to do. But working here, I've learned that there's a lot of things that you need to think about and that those staff members had to think about that I wasn't even.
Yeah, you were completely, because you were a kid, completely unaware.
So,
But do you think you lead like those
I tried
counselors
to.
or program specialists did?
I tried to because they were like the leadership for me. Like in middle school, because since I was new, I didn't really talk to like the teachers. Like I wouldn't stay and like all that stuff, like after school. But when I came to Boys and Girls Club, like you get very like comfortable with like the staff and you can like trust them and just like talk to them about things you need help with. And so yeah, I tried to be like that.
So
now.
you tried to be like them.
Yes.
Yeah. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So when you think about the members and dealing with the members, and I've said this, and I've asked all of the staff this, And the reason why is because I'm fascinated by each one of your answers. It's the same question, but the answers are really fascinating. I'm thinking, when you look at yourself now, you're 19, right?
Yeah.
19. Is this something you see yourself doing in the future? Like, if I'm talking to 50-year-old Avi, where is she at?
I'm definitely like a very spontaneous person, so I don't even really have any thought about where I will be in that time. But working here has definitely made me think that maybe I do want to do something in like childcare or like services like that.
Oh, so you see yourself in some
Yes.
capacity of childcare.
Yeah.
Why is that? Because do you ever think to yourself, I'm tired. This is just a really difficult job. Does that never cross your mind that?
I mean, it happens to everyone
Yeah.
eventually. But I think that this job is very fun for me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to find jobs where you genuinely think it's fun and you like don't mind doing it every day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that
And
definitely.
it's a really cool thing to have a
Yes.
job you love.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
It
And
is.
it's good that you want to stay in it.
Yeah.
Because there are some people who, they get in childcare and they're like, look, I never want
Yeah. I know.
It's too hard for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you see yourself with a family one day? Children?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I really want to have a family
Mm-hmm.
and kids
Yeah.
when I'm
Kid-
older.
Because I also know that a lot of people who do this job are like,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
never having
Yeah.
kids because it is difficult.
Mm-hmm.
What is probably the most rewarding part of this job for you? The part that says, this is why I do this.
Definitely just hearing the kids like talk about the impact you can make on their life,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's just talking to them for 30 seconds about something that they're having trouble solving or like a family thing at home.
Mm-hmm.
It's just nice to be able to help like younger people out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And what is the part that you say, I cannot do this? What part makes you say, this is it? 'Cause
Potty
I know
training.
For me, yeah. For me, there are times when I say, okay, that's it.
Yeah.
I've had it. I cannot do this another day.
Yeah.
Do you have moments like that, or are you just kind of like, I'm good?
Yeah, I would say I'm good.
Yeah,
Like it's just another day.
it's just another day.
Yeah.
Well, that is different because most people are like, yeah, this is.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, everybody out there, I'm sorry. I do have those days. Unlike Bobby doesn't have those days. But fine. So
No,
when
not
you
perfect.
think about your impact,
Mm-hmm.
because I know you said there were, think about impacting kids. At what part of that do you want to be most impactful? What do you strive for? Do you think about, okay, I want to impact their lives, like giving them a safe space, or is having someone to talk to? What do you want to do? When you say impact, what does that mean to you? How do you impact children's lives?
I do not have to be like the biggest impact ever, but I would just like to be known as someone who is kind, that people feel comfortable coming to with things they might need help with.
Mm-hmm.
It could be anything. It could be something really small or something really deep. I just would like to be known as someone people feel comfortable coming to.
Well, you are definitely that, my dear.
Thank you.
Yes. Often little ones are, they can't always express themselves
Yeah.
and say, this person, I like this person because.
Yeah.
They just know they like you. And that's one of, I think, your strongest points is that you, for whatever it is you are doing, is creating a space where children, little ones especially, not the older ones too, but the little ones especially like to come and sit with you, and you have a calm personality. And I think that's probably what they like most of all.
Yeah.
So when you think about the staff that you work with, Tell me something about Leilani that you like the most about with working with her in a
Yeah.
working relationship, not necessarily friendship or the sisterhood, but just
Yeah.
you like what about her working?
Yeah. Okay, Leilani and me have developed a really good work friendship balance.
Mm-hmm.
And at first, it was like we had to figure it out because it's like you're at work, you have to be professional, you know, and when we're outside of work, that's like friend time, you know, like hanging out. So I really like that Leilani, like, if she needs to have me like do something or we need to get something done, she'll always put that first, and then we can like talk like, you know, outside, like out of work later. So I really like how she's really good at maintaining like the work friend balance.
The balance.
Yes.
Cool. And Jose, Mr. Jose.
Jose, he's very like kind, and
He is kind.
he is.
That's a good word.
Yeah.
He is kind. Yeah, that's a really good word.
And I always like, he's always thinking of other people, I've noticed, and he's always just trying to respect everyone's space and help if he can. And I really, really appreciate that.
Yeah. And now JR has not been with us very long, but what have you seen with her working?
I like how JR is very willing to know everybody's like routines that we already have.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so she asked everyone like, what did you guys already do, or like any tips, and like that's really nice because she is asking for like, you know, our input, and that's really appreciated.
That's awesome. And of course, lastly, Professor.
Yes. James.
I mean, really,
Yeah.
Professor.
James has literally been helping me with electronics since like 7th grade.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate that. I've always seen him like doing stuff for the club, which is really
Yeah.
cool. And it's really cool to come back and work here and see him still here
Yeah.
and doing the same.
Yeah, because I keep
Helping out.
saying, you guys are old. I mean, you're very young, but
Yeah.
you're very old.
Yeah.
Because, like, you've been here,
Yeah.
like, other people would sit back and go, God, you've been here that long? You know?
Yeah.
So it's kind of that you guys are part of the DNA now of
Yeah.
Boys and Girls Club.
It's
Because
really
you've been
cool.
here so long. And it's good. It's good that
Yeah.
you're still here and you're hanging in there and you are now, like you say, impacting
Yes.
others' lives. That is awesome. So, Ms. Avi, that's it. It was
Wow.
painless, right?
That was very fast.
Yeah, very fast.
Yeah.
Well, it was
That was
great
good.
having you here today. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. I know this wasn't necessarily first on your list of things that you wanted to do, but thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Bye, Avi.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone, for joining this week's episode for our podcast. Make sure you tune in next week for episode number 6. Remember, we post every Friday to anchor.fm/BGCCC and to our YouTube channel. Go ahead and go to YouTube and search for Boys and Girls Clubs of Contra Costa. We post the video podcast with the audio podcast every Friday at 10 a.m. So tune in, and we'll see you all there. Thank you, everyone.